Hey there, Scott Monday with Kitchen and Bath Crate, and today we have a treat for you because I am with Lori here in Brentwood. And Lori, you let us remodel this kitchen of yours within the last few months. And today, are you willing just to tell me a little bit about your experience?
Absolutely.
All right.
This was great.
We're excited to do that and to share this with you. And so, Lori, let's kind of step back to before you even encountered kbCRATE. What made you want to do a remodel of any type with anyone? What started that process for you?
Well, the kitchen functionality was not so great. When they built these homes, they didn't put in nice big, islands of any sort, and everything was real cramped in here, so it was really hard for both my husband and I to get in here and work together.
Absolutely.
I kind of felt always trapped when I was over by the stove, and we had the refrigerator on this side, and so we lived here for a long time and just kind of looked and felt it, and I think that's the best thing to do is don't move into a house and then change it right away.
Right.
Live with it, feel it, know it.
Get to know your space, get to know what you like, what you don't like, absolutely. So layout sounded like a real key element. Talk a little bit about the finishes, like in terms of your old countertops and your old cabinets. Where were those kind of falling short of what you want?
Orange cabinets really fell short. We had the old oak, that every house has here, and storage was huge. And I needed, I like to entertain. I'm Sicilian, so dinners are usually all over the place. Yes. And I really had nowhere in here, no countertops or anything to put food on. So that was a big deal.
All right. Well, very good. So obviously you had a need, right? You had a layout issue. The finishes weren't exactly what you wanted. How did you discover Kitchen and Bath Crate? What was that like?
Well, I do a lot of Instagram, and I've been doing interior design studies for a long time. I actually was able to help a lot of people do their kitchens. I've done a flip before of my own house and went through a whole house build. And so I kind of like doing those things, but on Instagram, I kept seeing you guys pop up.
Oh, weird. I wonder how that happened.
Well, I don't know.
It's magic. It's the magic of the interweb.
I guess we were following a lot of the same people and a lot of design. We'd used Bedrosians in the past for our flooring, and so I think, there was a connection there. And so I just kept seeing you guys and following what you were doing, and a lot of it fell in line with what I liked, what I was seeing, looked fantastic.
There you go.
So, yeah.
So you called.
I did.
You made the
I
call.
did.
I remember talking with you because I screened the majority of the leads that come through. I remember our initial conversation, which was, may have been close to half a year ago?
Probably January or February.
Yeah, 8-9 months ago. Yeah, so we had that first phone consultation, and I didn't scare you away apparently because, then we came out and Jeffrey did an in-home consultation with you.
Oh, Jeffrey. Jeffrey is probably the biggest reason why. I have to give him that because he felt like a son to us. He felt honest, and he was open, and he was friendly, and everything about him just fit, with it didn't feel funny at all. And he told us yes to what we could do, and he told us no to what wouldn't work for our budget.
And that's important sometimes.
I wanted this wall taken out, and he was like, no, you don't.
Right, and you bring up a great point because sometimes our job is obviously to provide customers with exactly what they want, but it's also our job to provide the information for customers to make decisions along the way, and maybe sometimes counsel slightly against certain things. That's kind of why you hire us instead of just being yes men and women, right?
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the sales process with kbCRATE. Obviously Jeffrey comes out, he meets with you for your in-home consultation. And so as you went through that process and kind of saw the numbers and things like that, honestly, what was your reaction to that process?
Well, to back up just a hair on that,
Please.
I did actually get several quotes.
Absolutely.
And there was a local vendor here who there was nothing wrong with anything that they had given us. She did not come out with a full quote. So I was a little concerned about that, and I kind of thought that would go off the rails real quick because the picking out the fixtures and everything, I just felt like that was going to get real expensive. Another company would not even give us a quote to include all of our appliances. Everything that was quoted with them didn't include that. So I thought, okay, I gave you my budget, but now it's going to cost me at least $30,000 more, $20,000 more for high-end appliances or whatever. So when Jeffrey came, he was pretty honest about, okay, what do you want? Here's what we think we can do within your budget, and this will encompass everything. And that was pretty much what I needed to hear. So we worked from that, and he would say, okay, Lori, you're looking for this sink, this is what, this is what it entails, this is what extra it will be, or this is how much credit you'll get. And we worked it out, and we stayed really close to budget throughout the whole process, even upgrading to.
Right. Yeah, which we're going to talk about in a minute,
beautiful
because
counters.
this countertop is spectacular. There's no other word for it. So you go through the process with Jeffrey, you have the in-home consultation, the proposal, and you then decide to move forward with our team, right?
We did.
So tell me a little bit about the design phase, actually designing the cabinets and choosing the materials. Was that exciting for you, or was it nerve-wracking for you?
No, not nerve-wracking at all. I enjoyed it. I love that kind of thing. I kind of thrive on that. I love, creating. So yeah, the cabinet guys and your interior designer, Lindsay, came out with Jeffrey, and we went through probably 3 hours or 4 hours here in the kitchen, just talking through everything and what did I want, what did I would ask them, what can I get here? Will this fit if I'm ever in a wheelchair? Those kind of things were important. I'm getting up there in age, and it's not something that's unrealistic for me. Also, didn't want anything that was going to be outdated in a year.
Yeah, and I could tell by that when I walked in and saw this and saw the pictures, the finishes you chose, very classic look, stuff that's gonna age really well. And you bring up an interesting point about designing around the future. And that's a big thing in kitchens and bathrooms, is because we don't wanna create a design and a layout that 20 years down the road just not going to work for us to age in the home or things like that. And so it's important to build these projects for 30, 40 years, not for 10 years, right?
Exactly.
That's really important. So the design phase for you was a real cool process and not nerve-wracking.
Very cool.
For some of our customers, it's a little nerve-wracking because they feel like they're deciding, I'm going to be looking at this surface for the next 30 years, right? Some big decisions, but it's just really depending on the personality.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. So we had a little excitement after your design meeting, but before we started construction, when this whole little pandemic thing came into play.
The pandemic project.
Yeah. Put us on hold for a period of time. And I remember getting a couple of emails from you along the way saying,
help.
Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? And so we were finally able to start. And so talk to me a little bit. Let's go to day one. Talk to me a little bit about day one of construction.
It was so exciting. So they brought the crate in, put that in our driveway. That was kind of cool to go through that process with them. And then I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was in the crate.
Right, like if clowns were going to pop out or something like that.
Exactly, I didn't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Now, the clown was in the house. He was your sales guy.
Yes, that's true. Touche. Yeah.
No, we had everything out of this kitchen. They had everything out of this kitchen literally that day. It was all demoed. Yeah, I was like, wow, that was fast and clean. They came in here. They hung plastic everywhere. They did all of the whole requirements, masks and everything that we all were required to do. We kind of had to stay our distance. We had doors closed and just made it very safe for everyone. And they were so good and they were so thorough when they came in and did it. It was a great process. I was amazed that by the end of day one, we didn't have a kitchen.
I know, huh?
We also didn't have restaurants to go to, so that was kind of challenging.
Yeah,
but
a few extra challenges in this time.
We have a big barbecue out in the backyard, and we made do.
Yeah, excellent. Now you mentioned one of our team members, and we're blessed to have so many of them that are great.
You do.
But one specifically you mentioned that was here from the beginning to the end, and
Lito.
sort of you said,
oh my gosh,
kind
Lito.
of became like family, right?
He was family. I asked my husband. I'm going to tear up again. I missed him. That last day was very hard for me because I just felt like we were losing friends that had been here with us and kind of carried us through this pandemic.
Right.
It was very hard to say goodbye. I didn't know what to do. I was like, no, don't leave us. He just was a great guy. He carried us through this whole thing. But every single one of the trades that came in here, Scott, I will tell you, everyone was proud of their work and asked me along the way, what do you like? What do you see that you want me to change? Is there anything different that that I should do? And I'm telling you, I've never experienced that before. In going through several renovations and projects, I just had never seen anyone kind of really care about what they were doing. And they would tell us, like, your texture guy, Terry
and Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah. This, and you can't tell where this guy textured. You wouldn't be able to see it. So everybody came through. And the painters, I just can't say enough about the team. They were all on time. And that's not easy from Modesto to here.
Right. A little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
A little traffic here
Yeah.
and there. Yeah.
So everybody showed up on time and everybody was polite. And I knew from the day before who was going to be here, and no glitches, because you had a process, you have it down. You guys don't change that because it works. It really does work.
Awesome. Well, great to hear. So let's talk a little bit about, as we sit here right now in this beautiful space, what are some of your favorite things about the way it turned out? I mean, I have mine just having been here for a short period of time, but talk to me from the big stuff to kind of some of the details, just in no particular order. What are some of your favorite features?
Definitely the island is a favorite. I love this because we didn't have an island before, and we were going to go with just the standard quartz originally, not a standard quartz. We were actually upgraded to a beautiful quartz.
Right.
And when we went for that selection process, they didn't have a quartz there for me to look at with the new 2020 quartz models that they had come out with. But we saw this quartzite, and I knew I had wanted it before and never thought that this would fit in our budget. And Jeffrey made that happen. He worked with the guys at Bedrosian's, and so this is one of my favorite. We put it on the fireplace as well. My other favorite is the beverage bar that we put in.
Cool.
So
now, what was there before?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. So
Yeah,
it
it
kind
was
of
just
a
a
blank
blank
wall
wall.
that now has this really cool countertop, lower, and upper in this. Talk to me about this color, this blue that's on the island and the beverage area.
The blue. I didn't want all white
Right.
because I knew it would be stark and cold. And Lindsay, she actually was the one that suggested blue uppers. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. I didn't know if walking in the house and seeing those blue uppers was going to be kind of shocking. And it's beautiful. It absolutely is gorgeous. So I love that cabinet over there. I like the fact that we've given me a lot more space around my stove now by moving the refrigerator. And so that was important because I wouldn't have got that extra space without moving the refrigerator over here, which required new cabinets. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I love the new cabinets.
And you bring up a great point, because that change in layout, the change in how the kitchen is oriented, obviously leads to new cabinets. And in some kitchens that has to happen, like in yours, and others we're able to work with the existing layout. But the reason that you approach a company like ours is so we can help navigate those decisions together, right? That's what it's all about, to find the solution specifically for you and your family. And that's really what it's all about, right?
Yeah, it is.
At the end of the day.
My other favorite is obviously the backsplash. I wanted something that was going to be timeless, and Lindsay picked this out and said, you've got to see this. And perfect. It absolutely is perfect for the kitchen.
Yeah, I like the fact
busy.
that it's not busy, so it doesn't bring your attention away from this beautiful quartzite countertop, but it kind of still has some movement to it and some. You use the word iridescent, right? Has some of that to it as well. So that's really cool. I saw some of the cabinet features you have are really interesting and things that a lot of people are looking for. And one of those is this blind corner right behind us at the lower cabinets. You have a couple of what we call Kesselbomber pullouts, which give you really good access to that blind corner.
Yeah.
But then talk a little bit about that mixer.
The mixer. I love this because I do a lot of baking at Christmas time.
And you're not alone. This is a challenge that a lot of people face.
And again, because I am getting a little bit older, it's hard. Those mixers are heavy.
Those KitchenAids are not a light
I had
object.
it stored in the bottom cabinet, and just to try and drag that thing out, it was kind of making me not want to bake.
Right.
It was hard putting it away, taking it out. And so it became challenging for me. So when Jeffrey actually brought up, hey, do you think you might want to have one of these? And my husband was like, that's exactly what she needs. You get her one of those lifts for the mixer, and great for Christmas. He gets all of his cookies.
Excellent, excellent. Win-win, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, cool. Well, I'm going to kind of end here with a question for you.
Sure.
If you had a chance to chat with someone that was considering kitchen and bath crate for a remodel, what would you say to them?
The first thing I would say is go with your gut. Okay? Know that these people are going to be able to do what you want them to do, and they're going to give you a beautiful kitchen. Make sure you realize that it's not going to happen overnight, but be involved in the process, because the more involved you are, the more you're going to love your kitchen. And talk to them, every trade that comes in the house, and just let them know, your fears, your likes, your dislikes, and I would say you have nothing to worry about. You really have nothing to worry about. These guys are some of the best I've seen. They really are. You know, yeah.
Thank you so much for letting us serve you on the project.
Absolutely. And one final thought that I would share with people is that we are so happy and so pleased with the way that this turned out. We will be doing our master bathroom with you guys. So yeah, I look forward
Love to do that for you.
Look forward to getting that done.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Lori, for sharing your story and for talking with the folks out there. And thank you for tuning in and hearing about Lori's journey from a space that wasn't quite working for her to this amazing layout and finishes that she has now. So thanks for watching. I got a shameless plug here, kbCRATE.com, 888-995-7996. And yeah.
And follow them on Instagram.
That's right, Instagram. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.